I cannot tell you how absolutely delighted I am that we have Tabitha Westbrook here today talking with us. Welcome, Tabby.
Thank you, Miranda. It's so good to be here.
Do you want to share with everybody your clinical specialty?
We specialize in complex trauma, and we love to help people get out of the ditch and out of the darkness and into light. That's kind of our jam. And we hyper specialize in domestic abuse and the Christian church and helping folks, get out of those relationships if that's what they want, deal with the aftermath of them, deal with the PTSD, and also work with churches to help protect survivors and their families, and also call the abusers to accountability. So, and encourage them to change, because obviously they need changes as well. So we do quite a bit with our local community, and we love doing it.
Tell people what year you started your private practice.
I started my private practice in 2015. So
Awesome.
I've been at this 6 years now.
And what does your practice look like today?
Oh my gosh, so different. I have a group practice now, and I didn't when I started, obviously.
What has been your biggest learning curves when it's come to expanding from a solo to a group practice? Because you had a full private pay practice for a long time with like a waiting list and couldn't even find the people to refer out to, which I know I'm like fast forwarding the story in terms of that piece of like, that was one of the big things. I can't find people to refer these clients to. Like, it's such a specific niche, and like what we do is like nothing else. And so like expanding into a group just to meet the clinical demands of the people that were reaching out to you in particular, like there wasn't another way to do that, right? What's been your biggest learning curves?
I think the biggest learning curve is how much I can do in terms of clinical hours. I think that's been, I kind of expected to just be continuing my caseload, and that doesn't work very well, because you have to have time to actually meet with your staff and run a business and do all the things that go with running a business. And so I think that's been my greatest challenge and shift, is how many clients do I need to have as a caseload, and learning a bit more about that and what works better for me. And also learning, like, how do we do things? How do we scale up? How do we grow? And what does that look like? And then when people call for me, how do I encourage them that, like, yes, she is amazing. Like, I promise you need to see her, because I don't hire horrible people. I hire amazing people. And since I can't see everybody that comes in, people do need to be willing to work with my clinician, which is awesome. And so learning how to steer that.
How has it been, like, what's been the emotional journey of not even just the steering, but like the saying no to, this is the amount of people I can see on my caseload, or saying no and, hey, here's a great clinician, but what's it like to have to say no and know that, like, this is the amount of people I can see?
At first it was really tough. Because you don't want to say no to people. They're calling you obviously not on their best day, right? By the time they call you, they're having a really hard time. And because of what we specialize in, they have been through it. So they want, maybe another therapist or a pastor or a friend said, you have to go see Tabitha, she's amazing. And for me to say, I so appreciate that, but I can't be your person. I need you to see somebody else because I don't have the space. Like, that's hard, because you don't want to feel like you're letting someone down. But over time, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And also having confidence in my staff and what we offer, and knowing that I hire good people, it makes it easier to say, I promise you, like, this person was handpicked by me, and they are incredible, and I don't hire not incredible, and it's safe. And you know what, if you see them and you're like, I don't know, then we'll find you somebody that's a better fit, because, even if we were referred to, we're not everybody's person, and that's okay. There's more than enough need and more than enough clinicians that are good, that we can find good people, hopefully, that can help this person out. And every single client has said, we love our therapist. It's amazing. We're so glad. So, the more that happens, also the more confident I become in saying, no, like, I don't have the space.
I think that's a thing that so many therapists right now are struggling with, is that whether it's because of big caseloads or life stressors and these other things, like, we have this incredible risk for being burned out. If you're burnt out as a therapist, you're sort of normal. Like, that's kind of the norm, especially right now. And we have to start taking ownership of what do we have to say no to so that we can do really great work with the people that are on our caseload? Like that just saying yes and putting ourselves farther and farther into the hole is not doing this person any favors. Like, we cannot save the world. We cannot have these, you know, caseloads, whatever that looks like for you, of, you know, 20, 30, 40, like, hey, we deal with like really intense trauma. That's a different caseload than if you're working with like the you know, the worried well who are just coming to like process through some stuff, but like their life as well. You know, that's different than when you're seeing a caseload of domestic violence clients. Like, to be really honest about what kind of energy that takes and what kind of availability that takes, like, that's important.